Today I will be unboxing the Gigabyte GA-890FXA-UD7 motherboard. The motherboard comes in quite a large box. It's also shiny. I know you guys like to see the back of them, so here we go. On this box we get a little flap with Velcro on both sides so we can open it and have a quick look at the motherboard. Inside the main box there's another internal box with a matte black finish. I'll just take the first box out and have a look at the second box. This second box has all the capsules for the motherboard. Up in the left hand side of the box there's a Gigabyte user's manual for the motherboard. Inside you get a utility DVD, but I recommend you download all the latest drivers and utilities from the Gigabyte website. Next you get a Gigabyte sticker and a Dolby Home Theatre sticker. Next up there is an installation guide for many languages. In the left hand side of the box there is some kind of manual. I must note it is not in English. First up, in the right hand side of the box we get one SATA bracket that can power and test 2 SATA hard drives, one power cable and 2 eSATA to SATA cables. Next up we get 4 SATA cables, 2 of them are right angled, 2 of them are straight, and we get 1 IDE cable. We get 2 crossfire bridges for 3-way crossfire, and 1 I/O plate. Moving on to the motherboard, we'll just take the plastic cover off. First up inside we get a little box which has Gigabyte's unique silent pipe. This is an AMD motherboard, supports AM3 CPUs, including the Thenom 2 6-core processors. It has 4 DDR3 DIMM slots, 6 PCIe slots and 1 PCI slot. The motherboard works at 16x, 4x, 8x, 4x, 16x and 8x. It supports 4-way crossfire, so with 4-way crossfire you will be using this slot, this slot, this slot and this slot. All 4 of them slots will be running at 8x, but there is no major performance gain on 16x over 8x. In the 4 DIMM slots they support 2000 MHz overclocked memory, and it supports up to 16 GB. We have a 24-pin motherboard connector and an 8-pin CPU connector. There is a CPU 4-pin fan here. There's another 4-pin fan down here, a 3-pin fan here, here and here. It has a 890FX North Bridge, SB850 South Bridge, and 8+2 phase power design. 8 SATA ports. The blue ones are SATA 3, which are running off the SB850, and the white ones are SATA 2, which are running off the SATA controller down here. It has an IDE connector and a floppy connector. Up here we have the perfect place for a power switch and a reset switch. And down here we have a clear CMOS button. Also we have a clear CMOS header here. We have the front audio, 3 USB and a FireWire port. I must note this is the revision 2.1 motherboard. The 890FX North Bridge supports water cooling. If you do not have water cooling or wish not to hook it up to the motherboard, this is where the silent pipe comes in. You get a little bag with it. Inside the bag you get a little sachet of thermal grease and 4 screws for attaching the silent pipe. What you do is these 2 screws on the water block, you unscrew them and that block comes off. This is then attached on there after applying the thermal grease and screwed on with the 4 screws. Must note you have to install the motherboard first and then install the silent pipe, as it will attach to your case through one PCI slot. The motherboard is 1 slot longer than normal motherboards. It is an extra large ATX motherboard. Now let's check what back panel connectors are included. As you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 USB slots. The blue ones are USB 3.0. Also has 2 eSATAs. Must note these 2 eSATAs are combined with the USB, so it will work with both. Has a FireWire and a mini FireWire port. 2 Ethernet ports, SPDIF optical and coaxial. Also it has a PS2 connector for the old keyboard and mouses. A backplate is included. I also must note that down here there is a little debug station. If there is any problems with the motherboard, a code will show here, a 2-digit code. In the motherboard manual you can refer to the code and see what is wrong with the motherboard.